The New Testament contradicts the Old Testament. The New Testament claims to be a fulfillment of the Old Testament by the person of Jesus. However, the New Testament clearly contradicts the Old Testament in several sections, and I will explain in this video. Adding and taking away commandments. God commands that no new words be added to his commandments and for none of them to be removed. In the New Testament, Jesus abolishes the ceremonial laws of the past and brings a new revelation. Keeping the Sabbath. In the Old Testament, God commands for people to observe the Sabbath forever. In the New Testament, Jesus breaks the Sabbath and the Sabbath is proclaimed to no longer be of judgment. Food laws. In the Old Testament, God makes laws of clean and unclean animals. In the New Testament, Jesus declares all foods clean. Atonement. In the Old Testament, it is declared that no one can pay for someone else's life with their own as a ransom. In the New Testament, Jesus is proclaimed as a ransom sacrifice for the whole of humanity. Unity of God. In the Old Testament, God is revealed to be one in being. In the New Testament, it is revealed that there are three divine persons in heaven. God is not man. In the Old Testament, God is stated to not be human or a son of man. In the New Testament, Jesus is proclaimed to be God in human form and to be the Son of Man who is at the right hand of God. Ethnic Israel versus spiritual Israel. In the Old Testament, Israel is promised as the ethnic descendants of Abraham. In the New Testament, Israel is proclaimed as a spiritual reality with believers as metaphorical descendants of Abraham. Military Messiah versus divine Messiah. In the Old Testament, the Messiah is predicted to be a military leader who will rescue the Jewish people and slaughter his enemies. In the New Testament, the Messiah is Jesus, a divine being with the mission of saving the world from sin. Circumcision. In the Old Testament, God declares that all males should be circumcised forever. In the New Testament, Paul declares that anyone who is circumcised will not be saved. Afterlife. In the Old Testament, it is described that death is the end with no more reward or relationship with God. In the New Testament, it is described that those who believe in Jesus will have eternal life and the unrighteous go to eternal hell. Oaths to God. In the Old Testament, God commands that people take oaths in his name. In the New Testament, Jesus tells people to never take oaths on anything. Sinlessness. In the Old Testament, some individuals are described as blameless and righteous. In the New Testament, it is described that everyone is sinful and no one is righteous. Only Son of God. In the Old Testament, many groups are referred to as sons of God. In the New Testament, Jesus is described as the only Son of God. Satan as an accuser or enemy. In the Old Testament, Satan is described as a being who works with God as an accuser of humanity and is free to enter heaven. In the New Testament, Satan is described as the enemy of God who roams the earth and is banished from heaven. Original sin. In the Old Testament, guilt is not inherited and each person is punished for their own actions and no one else's. In the New Testament, sin is inherited from Adam. Existence of other gods. In the Old Testament, gods of other religions are shown to actually exist. In the New Testament, gods of other religions are described as not actually existing. Levitical priesthood. In the Old Testament, the priesthood is established to be continued forever. In the New Testament, the priesthood has to be replaced by the church because the priesthood supposedly died out and fell into sin. Enemies. In the Old Testament, it is commended to hate your enemies. In the New Testament, Jesus commands to love your enemies. Immutability versus incarnation. In the Old Testament, it is described that God will never change. In the New Testament, God becomes man. Thanks for watching. I will make my next video about how ancient philosophers did not believe in God as soon as I can.